9:30 East, 6:30 a.m.
30 Pacific.
Yep.
Another Wi-Fi podcast. So some pretty interesting things happened this week. So yeah, Tesla opened their first showroom in Connecticut. So all the car dealers and their lawyers and the politicians were blocking Tesla from opening a direct to consumer dealership, right? So they kind of
Yeah.
found a loophole where they opened one at the Mohegan Sun Casino, so it's on their own the sovereign land, so they can't tell them what to do, right?
Right.
So we went to check it out this weekend, and my friend Pete wanted to test drive a Model Y. So you can arrange online to do a test drive there. So we did a test drive, and the process was real easy. You just sign up online, show up. Not a lot of people don't even know that they're open there yet.
Yeah.
But we met up with a pretty big YouTuber, Out of Spec Dave, and he interviewed us about the test drive process. I'll put that video up here. So that's
I
pretty
watched
cool.
that video. It was a pretty good video. I've never seen him before,
Yeah.
so I've never seen his videos, but he does really good content.
Yeah, his son Kyle is like one of the number one yeah, EV YouTubers out there. I mean, he's the one that gets everyone on board with his videos. He's out in Colorado, but his dad lives out here in Connecticut. So they just basically buy up every EV. They test them, they trip them, they see what they like and they don't like about them, and just they post tons of road trip videos, like which and people watch them all, they watch the whole thing, so it's crazy. When I do the road trip ones, I just like, hey, I'm at the charger. I don't want to have a lot of GoPro video for
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like, what's the
Yeah, his
point?
video, it was, I would say that it seemed, at first I was like, oh, that's a pretty long video. But once I started watching it, I was like, oh, it wasn't that long. So his content is, you didn't feel like you're like sitting there
Oh yeah,
going
he does
through
a
like a
great job. He's
long,
engaging.
yeah, he does a great job.
He gets you, interested, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of tells the whole story about, why you can't buy a direct car here in Connecticut and all this. Although we have to kind of lay off on the dealers a little bit, I guess. They don't want to get like too much hate in the comments.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, it was pretty cool that he interviewed me and Pete, and it gave my channel a boost. So got
Oh,
about
that's
15 new
cool.
subscribers just from
That's a
that.
lot.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
That's what? That's a couple months worth
it,
of work.
it is. It's a couple months worth of subscribers. So I'm gonna hit 1,000 really soon. Hopefully, we'll see.
Let's see if we can get Jeff to 1,000.
Yeah, let's get more likes, more subscribes. All right, so then let's get back to Wi-Fi. So you've got the Wi-Fi 7 access point there, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
So that should be shipping pretty soon. Pretty soon. And
It will ship this month.
okay. And I heard that others are going to be shipping pretty soon too. Like possibly the Ruckus R 770 will be shipping soon. So I'm going to try to get one of those in too.
Okay.
Whoever gets me the AP first is the one I'm going to test.
I always get you APs
I know,
first.
I know. So the Wi-Fi 7 APs are coming out really soon. But what about the client device? So I was looking at phones last week. I'll talk a little bit about that. But there is an Intel adapter now that you can get.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to share this. I thought you were keeping this as a
No, I mean
secret.
I wanted to be the first one to test. But no, I'll share this. So there is a Intel Wi-Fi BE200 adapter. It's a mini PCI Express card, M.2 module. So this one, has Bluetooth. It works with Windows 11 64. So I'm gonna order this today and pop it in my laptop. Now, I looked at the reviews and a lot of people said it works just fine. The connectors, these UFL connectors are really finicky. So if anybody does this, be really careful because you basically, it's okay if you crush the connectors on the card. You could just order another one for $40. But if you crush the connector side on your laptop, then
Oh,
you're gonna have to like fish those antennas out and replace them, which is not fun. So if you do this, just be really careful. Make sure it's compatible with your laptop, and be careful when you attach those antenna connectors. I know from experience they're not easy.
Yeah. How long do you think it would take to install that?
Hmm. No more than 15 minutes. I mean, it just depends how hard it is to take your laptop apart. I've got this this Acer, which I was gonna replace really soon with one that had native Wi-Fi 7 support, but not a lot of them have it yet.
Yeah.
Only the really high end laptops. They have OLED displays, 16-inch display, gaming laptops. Those are the ones that have it. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want like a 15-inch like workhorse Acer laptop like this. This is like an
Yeah.
Aspire 5, I think, and I have
Oh.
replaced the adapter in there with the 6E adapter. Okay, so whatever this came with like a Wi-Fi 6, I put the 6E in there. I think you have 6E in your laptop.
Yeah, I have 6E.
Yeah. So, but this adapter, this BE200, it should be able to do 320 megahertz. Let's see. I can see in some of these pictures here. Yeah. So it does support 320
Megahertz.
megahertz. Yeah, up to
Wide channels.
5.8
Yeah.
gigabits per second. So yeah, this is actually better. It could be better than testing with a phone because we'll see. We'll get like some high end results.
Did I read it was Bluetooth as well?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it has a Bluetooth module in there also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tri-band adapter with Bluetooth. It should work. I'll report back. I'll get this. Hopefully this weekend I'll be able to pop it in there if I order it today.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do need to get you a Wi-Fi 7 access point.
Yeah.
We're running several in the office right now. Um, so we only have one Wi-Fi 7 client device that we just discovered. One of the reps here has one that here's the issue. There's phones out there that are Wi-Fi 7, but they're not enabled, and
Yeah.
that's part of the issue.
Yeah.
But I believe the one that we just realized it might be enabled, but we're not sure yet. So
I think it's a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 is the one that supports it. Now I've got this list. There's not a lot of phones that support it and that it's enabled. Like so, we know even though the Google Pixel 8 Pro they say they support it, I don't think it does. Right? You've done some testing with that.
yeah,
And I've looked over on the Reddits and people are also saying it doesn't fully support it. And then the Galaxy S23 does not support Wi-Fi 7 yet.
yeah,
Which it has the Qualcomm chipset in there, but it doesn't have support. So maybe they'll add it in the future. I don't know.
right,
But the list is they're not really mainstream phones. I want to get one that a lot of people will have, that
yep,
and I don't see a lot of people buying the flip phones. Asus Zenfone, yeah, Galaxy Z Flip 5, Motorola Edge, Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. That might be something we could test, but the Oppo phones. Do you know anybody that has those?
I don't.
Have you heard of them though?
No, I've never
Oh,
heard of
okay.
them.
Yeah, that's the only other one I might look at. But yeah, if anyone knows a phone that does support Wi-Fi 7, that they're getting good results on, even
That's enabled. Yeah,
that it's
7
enabled. That you're not. I mean, we know you can use Wi-Fi 6E, right? Like with all these phones, probably they all have 6 gigahertz.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the important things to bring up is that, even with Wi-Fi 7 access points, they're operating on those three bands. And if you have 6E devices like the iPhone 15 Pro, for example,
Yeah.
you can utilize that third band, and the performance, I mean, is
Oh, yeah.
spectacular on that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did the performance. I'll put a link to that on Wi-Fi 6E, and it's going to be the same on a 7 Wi-Fi 7 access point with a 6E enabled phone like the iPhone 15 Pro, right?
Yep.
So that you'll still get, I'm getting 1400 megabits per second down with this, iPhone 15 Pro on Wi-Fi 6E access point. So I'm assuming that's going to be the same on a Wi-Fi 7 access point.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, it will be for sure.
So So that's pretty cool that we have that Intel card that we can try now. Because
Yep.
I was kind of like, what are we gonna test with? But next, you want to talk about the extender switch, which I have coming in this week. I've had a few people a few people ask me about it.
Look, here's my phone.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, it's small. I can't see the screen right now, but
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
It's about half the size of like a small desktop switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one over here, but I can't
1008.
unplug it.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's under the size of a switch. So talk about it. Like, what does this thing do? I know we kind of
Yeah, we talked about it before on this channel, right? So it's basically you got PoE going in, PoE plus plus going in, and you're not powering it up with a power adapter. It's fully 100% PoE.
Yep.
Then you can extend your PoE so you can run other devices from this. So say for example, I wanted to run another 100 feet of cable off of this. And I want to power up an access point, for example. I could use this switch to be able to do that. And it's small and compact because they go in very small places, right? So you're just trying to extend the cable further. So you're extending the cable the 100 meters, right? Powering it up and then extending another 100 meters.
So it's basically two functions. Like it'll extend if you have a place where you need to extend the cable Ethernet over 100 meters, but you don't have a power jack, so you can't put another power outlet, so you can't put another switch there, right? So
yeah, you're not going to hire like an electrician to come in and put in additional power in a particular area. You're just trying to get it to
which is very
say
expensive.
For example, it's in a warehouse.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, we're not going to have an electrician come in and run electric to this particular area, but we can throw this in really quickly. And it should fit in most scenarios. So
right. So so let's talk about two scenarios for it. Like, so to just use it as an Ethernet extender, what does it need for input power? Just it needs like 15 watts AF power. Just if you
no. I would advise PoE plus plus.
Oh, but it will operate on
it will
power.
operate. It depends on your usage on this side,
Yeah.
like what you're feeding out.
Yeah, let's say there's no PoE involved. That's what I'm asking. Like, so there's no PoE out involved. You just want Ethernet. You want to hook a printer up.
Then I think you could just use PoE and probably
just
power
standard
the thing
PoE
up.
AF power probably, right? I think
Yeah.
I looked at the specs and that looks like what it'll do.
Yeah, I would look at the power consumption.
Of the device. But yeah, so if you're not using PoE out, you can probably power it with just an AF PoE in.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to use PoE out, then you have to go to at least AT full pop PoE plus.
Yeah, and like I said, it depends on what you're trying to power up, right? So you got to be really cautious because you got to have to think about the power consumption of those devices because it's going to draw from here, which
it's going to heat up.
The power consumption of this device will,
then
increase, right? So
right. So I mean, optimally use PoE plus plus, right? To power it, but we know that people are going to just use it with whatever they have. But if you need full power PoE out, 32 watts PoE plus out of that thing, you definitely have to use PoE plus plus going in.
100%.
100%. Now, if you just want AF out, then you can, 15.4 watts. Then you can put AT PoE plus in.
Yep.
But then you got to look at that budget too, right? Like
you got to be cautious. That's why I kind of just default to.
Yeah.
I would just power it up at PoE plus plus because everybody says, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna add a couple things on there," and it's like never the case. It's always like, "Oh yeah, I added this."
Right.
I don't know, whatever.
Right. And what's the total budget if it has PoE plus plus? Is it in the spec?
Say that one more time.
Is it in the spec like what the total budget is if you're feeding it PoE plus plus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me extender. Let me take a look.
Yeah, if you just go to ingeniustech.com, go to products, go to.
Oh yeah.
You'll see switch. Go to switches and then switch extenders.
Yep.
And then you'll see that model there. And then we'll have several models of this.
Nice.
We'll actually have a smaller version of this.
Really? Yeah.
It will not be PoE though.
Oh, well, not. It'll just be an Ethernet extender.
It'll be a just like if you're going into like MDU, for example, and you just need connectivity, it would be for those situations.
Okay.
And so the other thing to think about is in those situations, you're passing a lot of VLANs. So you will have VLAN trunk capabilities
Nice.
for these devices. So that was a critical piece.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the budget. So yeah, if you feed it 802.3 BT Type 4, it has a 60 watt total budget, right? With input of 90 watts.
Yep.
And if you're on the low side, if you're feeding it AT power, which probably is the minimum. So I don't think you can really feed it AF. So you're feeding it 30 watts in, you'll have a 15 watt budget out.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean most switches at this point are AT PoE plus. Anyway,
Yep.
I would say.
Yeah, most of them are coming out with plus.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So some of the APs, I mean, not now with Wi-Fi 7, it's a little bit different. But when Wi-Fi 6 first came out, they were definitely a PoE plus type of AP.
Yeah.
And then they were starting to get into PoE plus plus, and now that we've had our hands on Wi-Fi 6 now, those devices can run way more efficiently and they take up less power. So typically a Wi-Fi 6 access point's running PoE PoE plus, right?
Yeah, or the little ones, like a 2x2 would be PoE AF.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's a good that's something good to bring up though. As you get into 6E and 7, you definitely need more power. You definitely need a PoE plus at the minimum, and probably PoE plus plus for Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
7.
just to give you an example, so like we have I think it's our 4x4 that only needs 17 watts, and that's peak power.
Oh, okay.
And that's on a 4x4.
That's the Wi-Fi 6, 230.
That's Wi-Fi 6.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. When you get into Wi-Fi 6E, that's when you get into PoE plus, definitely.
Yeah.
And Wi-Fi 7 into Wi-Fi 7 PoE plus plus. So this Wi-Fi 7 access point, it's PoE plus plus, and there's two 10 gigabit ports on this switch.
Nice.
Or this access point. But yeah, this needs more. It needs more power for sure.
All right. Well, we'll get more into that as we get it and start testing it. But all right. Anything else you wanted to talk about today, Brian?
No, I think that was everything we wanted to talk about.
All right. So I'll post a link to the Tesla store video, and remember to subscribe, get me up there, and we'll be back next week.